And then at the very back of the line, there was this little boy crawling. And I think for all intents and purposes, he was crawling because he would have been about, I think he was about 2.5. So I don't believe he crawled in heaven, but day to day. But I think it was to differentiate him from the crowd. But he was crawling, and I said, "God, who's that?" And he goes, "That's," or I said, I didn't say God, I just said, "Who's that?" And he goes, "That's your son." And I just remembered, he had these big curls, and May of 2010, I had lost a baby, and at 4.5 months. And to be honest with you, this earth tells you to forget about it. It's kind of like a thing with miscarriages because they become so common, right? So they just act like it didn't really happen, or his family was actually phenomenal with it. I still to this day appreciate all the love and care they showed me after that. But I just remember seeing him, and even a couple months ago, I saw a picture of me when I was 3 years old, and I had the same hair, these big brown curls. And there was my son there, and then I saw all these kids, but there were millions of babies, so many babies from miscarriage and stillborns, way more than any other kind of people. But the neat thing too was there were way more animals than any kind of people. And I came back from heaven. I don't know why I never really thought of our pets as eternal. I just thought they were here for kind of our pleasure, and then that would be that. I don't know why. I should have thought of them more, but after that, I tell you, I do. I saw so many animals there. I knew our pets. I knew instinctively that whatever pets we love on earth are with us there, and the animals were so neat, like the little boys, and I think girls could probably do this too, but this is just what I saw. But I saw all these little boys who had little animals growing up with them, so like tigers and lions and bears and different kinds of animals. And my son had this black tiger, and I actually came back thinking, there's no way. I mean, black tigers never even existed. I'd never seen a black tiger. And but I looked it up, and they sure did, but they're mostly extinct now. But he had a tiger that he was growing up with, and they would play around with him, and they would just do somersaults with him, and over him, and it was just so neat. And they had these big trees, and these trees had fruit, but they didn't have any skin, and there was no mess there, like at all. And so they would just and I remember just that eating wasn't like here. Like it was, I know it was pleasurable too, so I don't want to say it wasn't pleasurable. Everything is obviously, but I mean, it wasn't constant like here. So most of the time, I saw a lot of children around the trees, not the adults so much, but children around the trees eating off the trees. And then there was mansions there. And I remember one angel, same size, 75 feet, he was actually going from one side of the mansion to the other, nailing big huge gold nails, the roof on, and that was in 2013. So I can only imagine now how they look. But I saw the mansions. I also, when God the Father told me I would have to go back, I remember being completely devastated. And he just said, "Are you having fun yet?" And I was like, "Yeah, woo!" And for some reason, I never spoke with Jesus or the Holy Spirit. I always kind of believed that the lion might have represented the Holy Spirit, but I don't know that for a fact, and I still to this day don't know. But I do believe, in the Trinity. But the Father is the one I spoke with, and I think a lot of that is because of him wanting us to understand his love, because a lot of people come back with Jesus, and that is just as miraculous and amazing. I just can only say that I received that different point of view for that reason, for everybody to see him, to know how much of a loving Father he is. He's not like directing things, and mad at people, and he wants everyone to come to him. He loves us so much that he came as a human. He came as Jesus to die. So